Let us prepare, make some good profits today. Market lift has big clues here. You will see that the 5-day is already trying to align with the blue algorithm. Let's talk a little bit about that. Very importantly as well, you see the orange is still at work. So these are very important clues you need to pay close attention to. Major liquidity here, right? We had a liquidity that was grabbed a little early. So let's explore that as well. Very important clues before FOMC on Wednesday. But before that intraday analysis, very, very importantly, you need to understand what to be looking out for here. Basically today was a simple retrace here, a little pullback, 1058 here. Let me explain this. 1058 was about right here, right? So this was about 1058 a.m. right? I mentioned about, right? So this is 1058, see for yourself. I mentioned about how the cup has closed, especially with this wick here, right? Not very, very strong closing of cup. And that's why you see there is lots of sellers that are being soaked up here with the green. I mean the teal algorithm here. But very importantly, you noticed this pink algorithm that was building liquidity here. Now this pink liquidity was very important, and you see how we grabbed the liquidity on that way up right there. It's quite a beautiful trade. There was another setup here with the yellow algorithm. I will run through that a little later because you see the yellow algorithm here, and we broke out of that as well. So that's quite important. I will show you that. Let me just zoom that out a little bit more so you can see it for yourself. Right, once again, 1058 here. You see it for yourself here. 1058, once again here, 10:58 a.m. You see the cup close, you see the teal and the pink building liquidity right there. So that was quite important. You see that, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. And once we were buying up in that yellow, you notice something very important, and that is the break of yellow right there. So this was still a very beautiful trade you could manage to take here. Now this trade here is double, right? You could have a double trade right there if you manage to get a good fill. So it's still a beautiful trade, even though it's a half-point trade right there. So you have to not worry about where the charts are going. You have greater confirmation. You can start taking very good fills and take very beautiful trades like that. Right, so pay close attention to the liquidity that was building here. Now, throughout the morning, I was telling you that the pink was in control, right? You see that it is controlled selling. Ideally, this would have been better, right? So we have seen a stronger, obviously, if you see something like that, you would have more imbalances and you see a greater range of trading intraday as well. But sometimes the market doesn't give you exactly what you want. So you have to learn to identify setups anyway. And as I mentioned, even the small trades here can build up to a beautiful setups here, even this trade here. Right, so this one, I bought my contract at 350, I think. Right, at here it was $7. Right, I didn't close it in time. I closed it at about 520, I think. It's about that. Right, but this is, look at that. $3.50 to $7. Just that small push here because you understood the orange algorithm and the yellow algorithm right there. Right, and we started chopping near to end of day, so it was inconclusive. Do not overtrade this because of the lack of continuation. But the market did give us very big clues. I want to talk about that later in the video. So let's talk about that. Yeah, 30-minute chart. I remember I talked about how, just take a look at this green algorithm. Penny perfect. We just kept banging on the door of the green algorithm right there. I said we may have a small pullback. Yeah, no, I wanted a 5-day pullback, right? That will be great. I would have went heavy. But no, we didn't get it because we were still in that green. And that's fine because you noticed that even with the structure here, you were able, as I shown you, to be finding profits in the charts anyway. So find profits in the charts. That's what you need to be doing. Don't be too concerned where this is going. So you see we had that breakout now and in that buying continuation in that orange. So first things first, just focus on the buying continuation, even though you see the blue that was tapering here. Right, so beautiful here, the blue algorithm here. Now there are many ways the market can build liquidity. This can absolutely continue grinding up in that orange. As I shown you yesterday's video as well, right, I mentioned how dangerous this grind up can be, right? It's a large range, because we are still protected by 5-day on the upside. So until 5-day turns into some sort of resistance and breaking this orange rhythm, right, plenty of liquidity. I will show you that later. You cannot discount this orange rhythm right there. But that aside, as I was saying, if this wants to continue grinding up, this absolutely can. But ideally, market opens, we have breakout retrace. That will be great. Otherwise, another structure here, building more liquidity as we have a nested right structure, the retracement back here before it starts pushing up. That will be ideal as well. But you have to be extremely careful with the blue rhythm that the market tried to grab today. Remember I mentioned about this, right? So this is extremely possible as well, because we have already in a way closed a very important cup with this red candle here. So pay close attention to that red candle. 5-day will still continue trending up, right? You will ideally, hopefully see that it trends up to FOMC on Wednesday, and we have more liquidity that we can grab here. That will be ideal. If it wants to dump, you will see very clearly how the liquidity can dump from there. But otherwise, pay close attention. I would very much prefer. This is not enough liquidity to go up in my opinion, but you never know. There could be major news that comes. I would certainly very much prefer another 5-day retest. Right, so this will be ideal if we can grab more liquidity here and build upon this 712 yellow, this level here. So let's see how the market grows from there. And more importantly, there is a major blue rhythm here as well. By then, as I mentioned to you, you would have seen that the market has grabbed liquidity here. 5-day turn into some sort of resistance of that orange and blue before we grab more liquidity here from this blue rhythm. Like that, right? See who's selling, because you remember I talked about this major seller last week, right? See it for yourself, right? If it wants to appear, it's there, right? So if it's not appearing, this is the only time it has appeared, but there's no sustaining move here. So you have to minimally see orange starting to sell, and the best seller is still the green. You see the green. When the green appears, you make money on puts, right? So if it's not appearing, don't force it, right? You will not miss it. You have to first see orange appear before the green. Now, please watch yesterday's video. You can chain up my thought process from every video every single day. It's important you watch the videos every day, because you have to understand that the market is not isolated to a day-to-day affair, right? It is a chaining up of thoughts, chaining up of context, and chaining up of plays from one day to another. So if you watch my videos every day, you trade with me every day, this becomes so much clearer to you. So please do that if you can, right? Spend some time. I appreciate you doing that. And for Discord members, don't forget to review end of day summary here. This is extremely important, right? Review this so you can understand my thought process intraday. Thank you very much for watching. See you closer to opening bell.